The word for ordination in Hebrew, ordination is of course not a word that comes from our tradition, is Smiha. And the word Smiha means trust. And one of the most important lessons that we know and that we have learned about the rabbinate is that the trust that makes a person a rabbi comes from two directions. It comes from the generation before, from the teachers who taught and who now trust that person to be the next link in the chain. And it comes from the people who look towards you and say, we trust you to be our rabbi. We trust you to be a channel for Torah in our life. And it's one of the things I love about this particular document that we give to our graduates, that it acknowledges that both of those trusts, both of those smichot, are crucial for making a person into a rabbi. And this may be, you guys were talking before about the good things that we learned from the ordination. It may be one of the blessings that for most people, the moment of hearing the trust of your teachers is separate from hearing the trust of your community. And yet, because you have now been in this community for a year, we get at one moment, at one time, and thank God in one place, to hear all of this trust at once. I will read the document of ordination in Hebrew and then in English. אנו מורי בית המדרש לרבנים של המכללה העברית מודיעים נאמנה כי תלמידתנו רבקה ציפורה בת מיכאל ושרה רחל שחלקה מיושבי בית מדרשנו סיימה את חוק לימודיה. זה כמה שנים שקדה על התורה ועל העבודה ויגעה בהלכה ובאגדה בנגלה ובנסתר ובהכשרה לעסוק בצורכי ציבור באמונה. בתורת אדוני חפצה, ולא זזה ממנה עד שעשתה אותה תורתה. בסוד חברים מקשיבים, עשתה אוזנה כאפרכסת, וליבה חדרי חדרים, להיפתח ל70 פניה של תורה, ללמוד וללמד, לשמור ולעשות, למען קרב את ליבות עדת ישראל, למצוא כל אחד ואחת, את נתיב נשמתם בתורה. ועל כן חכמה תתקרא ורבי תתקרא. ומילאנו את ידה לשאת את משרת הרבנות על שכמה, וראינוה נכונה ומוכנה לעמוד לפני העדה אשר תבחר בה, וקהל עדתה עליה יסמוכו, כאשר שמחנו אנו, ועליהם תבוא ברכת טוב. We, the faculty of the Rabbinical School of Hebrew College, give faithful testimony that our student Rebecca Lee Weintraub has been a devoted participant in our House of Learning and has completed her required course of study for rabbinic ordination. During her years here, she has been eager and diligent in the study of Torah, in prayer, and in service, and has studied Jewish thought and Jewish practice, searching for meaning, revealed and hidden. The Torah of the Blessed One is her desire, and she has been steadfast in making that Torah her own. Amid a circle of listening companions, she has opened heart and ear to the 70 facets of Torah, to study and to teach, to keep and to fulfill, to draw the hearts of Israel near, so that each individual might find his or her own path in Torah. Therefore, she shall be called Rabbi. We have ordained her to take upon herself the service of the rabbinate. We attest that she is fit and prepared to stand before a community that may rely upon her and trust her as we have in ordaining her, and may blessings of goodness come upon them all.
Amen. Becca, a few words from Felicia and from me. On behalf of ourselves and our community, we have already developed a great trust in you in the past year. We have found in you a person of deep commitment to the learning and the practice of Torah, a deep commitment to struggle with spiritual practice, with all its complexities and nuances. We have found in you a strong call for service, of love of community, love of people. We have found in you profound authenticity and honesty. You are a person who is very centered and very natural. And we have found in you every single day, as we open the day together in prayer, a love of tefillah. We didn't know all these things. We had a sense when we met with you, when we interviewed you, when you started working here. We had a sense of all these things, but all these things have been open for us every single day of this past year. And what has been revealed is your extraordinary neshama and your leadership and your partnership with us and with the community. And I have tremendous gratitude on behalf of all of us for your presence here. Every single member of our team, in the staff, in the senior staff, in the all staff appreciates your presence, embraces you, and sees your leadership, trusts you, and so do all of us. And we welcome you formally as a rabbi and teacher.
So, as Roly said, we've known each other about a year and a half, and it has felt so right. Joining us as a community this time in the midst of a pandemic and finding your way into our hearts and souls, teaching your Torah, filled with curiosity, humility, and love of the Jewish people, the Torah, our tradition, and community and God. In Parashat Chukat, Miriam dies and the Israelites are without water. And from here it is derived that through the merit of Miriam, the Israelites were supplied water during their journeys in the wilderness through Miriam's well. The tradition has it that the well was created at twilight on the sixth day of creation, and it supplied even Avraham water. And that same well was the supplier from generations after that, including the wanderers in the desert. The well not only satiated their thirst, but was a source for generations upon generations, because water is associated with Torah. And you, Becca, drink from that well of time immemorial. You have a deep love of the tradition, and you drink from it and return to it over and over again. You are reverential of the tradition and teachers, and want to source your Torah in the Torah of generations that came before you. Simultaneously, the tradition teaches that this well was in the shape of a sieve-like rock, out of which water gushes forth as from a spout. It followed them on all their wanderings uphill and down dale, and wherever they halted, it halted too, and it settled opposite the Mishkan. The water gushed forth from the depths of the well and shot up as high as pillars. And you, Becca, in the course of this almost year of your rabbinate and time at BJ, have been like a well, overflowing with goodness, gushing forth teaching and connection. Through most of the traveling, though most of the traveling has been done on Zoom, you have been willing to do whatever it takes to travel with the community, in one-on-ones, in our children and family services, whether in person or online, in the park or on the roof, with mourners in Shivot and in joyful moments. And you do it all with ease and with the sense of flow, gushing forth with love and Torah. You are humble and purposeful. And when you are called to go, you go, just like Miriam's well. The different parts of the camp were separated by these rivers so that women visiting each other were obliged to make use of ships with the well provided the pathways for. In your short time with us, your Torah, and then it says actually that the water discharged itself beyond the encampment where it surrounded a great plain in which grew every conceivable kind of plant and tree. And these trees, owing to the miraculous water, daily bore fresh fruits. In your short time with us, your Torah has also made possible us to expand our reach as a community. You have created new classes, imagined new programs, and you have a sense of vision about what is possible in so many ways, in particular for our families and children. Not only have you also borne not only fresh fruits, but a daughter along the way, you are opening up new rivers. Your Torah is fruitful and creative. And finally, upon the entrance to the Holy Land, this well disappeared, says the tradition, and was hidden in a certain spot in the Sea of Galilee. Standing upon Carmel and looking over the sea, one can notice there a sieve-like rock, and that is the well of Miriam. Once upon a time, it happened that a leper bathed at this place of the Sea of Galilee, and hardly had he come in contact with the waters of Miriam's well when he was instantly healed. And Becca, for us, you have appeared as a source of strength and partnership. You are a teacher and a student. You are able to look from the top of the mountain and from the ground below. And most importantly, your Torah is a Torah of light, love, chesed, and healing. May you continue. We waited a long time for you to come. May you continue to drink of the waters of the well of Miriam. And may you, like Miriam, offer the water of Torah for so many throughout the journey in the well. And as this week's Torah portion says, Az yashir Yisrael et hashira hazot, ale be'er anula. Thus the people of Israel sang to the well, spring up, O well, and they sang to it. And so too to you do we sing upon your arrival. Do we trust in your well of water? And do we hope, too, that you will sing together with us over the years to rise up in this amazing community and lead with us every day of your rabbinate. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Hineni ha'aniya mima'as, nireshet v'nifcheret mipachad, yoshev tilot, bati la'amod ulitchanen lefanecha. Here I stand, flawed, trembling in fear in the presence of the one who hears all prayer. I come to stand before you, God, creator of all. As I conclude my ordination process, receiving Smiha, the trust of my teachers, the trust of my mentors and colleagues, the trust of this holy community, and continuing to learn to trust in myself. Moda ani lefanecha, grateful am I before you for allowing me to reach this point. Moda ani, for my parents and my family, who have instilled in me a deep love and appreciation for the gift of life, who taught me that life is hard and that everyone has a story, but it's always a little bit easier if we go through it together. Hafachta mispedi lemacholi, that grief and joy live within us at all times, sometimes coexisting, sometimes simply morphing from one into another. Moda ani, for my mentors and colleagues here at B'nai Jeshurun, who each and every day model what it looks like to truly serve. Ivdu et Hashem b'simcha, to serve you, God, with joy and with honesty. Moda ani for my teachers and mentors and communities along the way who have shared their Torah, their chesed, their avodah with me in unimaginable ways, who have taught me Talmud Torah be'ahava, to learn Torah with love, real, raw, and messy love, who have always helped me along for you and who have always helped me long for you, God, and live in relationship with you in ways I could have never expected. Moda ani, God, for this Kehillah Kedusha, this holy community of seekers who have welcomed me in as a leader and a chavruta, a partner in seeking justice, seeking kindness, seeking you. Al Sfat Hayam, at the edge of the ocean, the beginning of this new journey, I stand with them, Yachad Kulam, together as one. Adonai Tzivatai Tiftach, Ribono Shel Olam, ruler of the universe, open my lips, Shema Koli, and hear my plea. Bless me with the ability to lead with humility, to teach your Torah with truth, to build relationships that honor you and your spark within each of us, to raise up the voices of those who need to be heard. Give me the strength to lift them up when they fall down and to allow them to lift me when I stumble and trip. Remind me that this work is a practice and it means at times we will need to push each other to reach, to disagree, but may this always be your and for you and the sake of heaven. Guide me through our times of communal celebration and Simcha, and hold me through our times of sorrow, heartbreak, and grief. Never let me lose sight of the brokenness in the world or feel too tired or too selfish to ignore it. Keep chesed and gratitude in my heart and in theirs as we continue to embark on this journey together. Remind me that this avodah is not about me. It's about this community, it's about the Jewish people, and ultimately about serving you. Bring me spiritual completeness and peace, and allow me to guide others toward the peace they need and they want. Although I stand here in awe and trepidation, Ve'im ruchi geviati Adonai li velo ira, and with my spirit and my body too, you are with me. I shall not fear. Mishaberach avotenu v'imotenu. Please hear my prayer. Hear all of our prayers. Receive them with compassion and with love. Baruch atah shomea tefillah.
Amen.
Blessed are you, God, the one who hears our prayer.
Amen.
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 Please rise.
עמנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.